Everybody, we are back. It is Taped On Live's favorite podcast, favorite channel, favorite everything. We are back. You guys already know what to do. Hit the subscribe button, subscribe. Hit the like button if you like it. Hit the dislike button if you don't like it. Leave a comment if you like it. Leave a comment if you don't like it. Also follow us on Twitter at the Mark John NFL for me, at mhold95 for Matt, and of course pandasubs.com. Discount code TDL for 35% off. All right, so today we are talking JPJ, Jackson Powers Johnson. It's going to be an exciting day for us. I think this is going to be some fun tape to watch because this dude's just a monster. He's just a stud, dude. I don't know the other way to explain it, but so I'm going to just be a damn stud. That's what he is. He's a stud.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Name like a law firm or an accountant, blocks like a monster. That's the I feel like you get Jackson Powers Johnson. Like I feel like you could get like a commercial, like a JG Wentworth commercial out there there. But dude is nasty, man, and he looks like a banker. But looks are season. Don't judge a book by the cover. He's a nasty dude with some pretty clean tape too. So it's a lot of fun to dive into.
Yeah, I mean, it was super fun to dive into for me. Like, just doing pass protection, you get 4 pressures. You know what I mean? So, over 4 years, so I would have been like deep diving for him to get beat. You know what I mean? Because against Utah, when I watched that game against Utah, he did get beat in the run game a couple of times. So but that 58 is a pretty big dude. So he was kind of, when he was that guy had to get lower than him. You know what I mean? Like, so it was like that was some great technique that guy had to use to beat him. You know what I mean? So that's the type of player. Like you gotta tell that maybe against like the average guy early on, he'll kind of do really well. Maybe some of the more savvy guys he's got to learn and get better against. Yeah,
that was one thing. I'll show you guys a couple examples, even on some of his positive clips. Like there were instances where he'd get caught, quote unquote, bad scouting term, quote unquote, at times, as Dan Hatman's having a fit in the scouting academy with me using that, where he with like some bad pad level, and like you said, against guys that were a little bit bigger and could get underneath him, like that would cause him some trouble, and he'd get beat a little bit. But bad pad level, and his face comes pretty narrow sometimes. But other than that, man, like it was really like it was almost boring. I mean, I felt bad for you doing the pass player, because it was just like at a certain point, like he's like just sitting there, dropping the anchor, picking up stunts. Like there wasn't a whole lot going on, not even much to nitpick, really. I mean, another guy that, again, we're sitting here saying we love this pick because guy's got some clean tape, man, and some nasty blocking and whatnot, finishing mentality too, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like getting Creed Humphrey, that type of player. I know Creed Humphrey is a center, but so was Jackson Powers Johnson, but he played guard for 2 years, didn't give up pressures there. So like, I mean, I think he's gonna be pretty clean there. I think it'd be fine. I mean, because he's gonna help the run game immediately. I mean, that's what I was thinking when I was watching the film. It's like, oh, dude, they're gonna be able to run the damn ball, and then they have Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer, and they can run the ball. Whew. Man, this team's gonna be hard to stop. I mean, even with Aiden O'Connell, I mean, and they have a good play action game with it. They mix it in and they do some play action and kind of make him comfortable. They might be able to win some games on offense. It might make him a little better than he actually is. So hopefully that's the case. And even if it's Gardner Minshew too, it might be the same way. So either way, but like I said, we'll see how this goes, man. Before we get into the film, anything else happen? I'm saying, I don't know. We're not in the news, guys. I guess, I guess we could talk about Aiden O'Connell's number change or something like that. I already talked about that on Friday. That was kind of stupid. Anything else?
Going from Derek Carr to Rich Gannon and Ken Stabler. He's just hunting legacy.
Yeah, man.
He's just hunting, like next year he's going to wear Jim Plunkett's number. He's going to be 16. He'll be 3 1 year. Take over for Daryl LaMonica. He's just hunting legacy. He's coming for you.
I mean, maybe that's what he's trying to do. Maybe switch it up, try to get a different, different feel every year. I'm gonna be like Derek Carr last year, and then this year I'm gonna be like I'm turning to Kenny Stabler. It's that type of thing, man. I don't know if he's gonna turn to Rich Gannon, he start using his legs a little bit. So
I was gonna say Kenny can run a little bit too. So I don't know. Maybe it's a sign he's gotten more athletic in the offseason. He's gonna be running read options now or something like that.
Maybe. We hope so. But probably not. That's something that's probably not going to happen. But we can dream over here at Take the Line. We dream. All right. Because really it's a slow time. So let's just get into the film, bro. Let's start with the run blocking because let's get it, man. Like I want to watch this because I was watching it the other day, and I was kind of like, man, Matt got all the fun. So let's watch this.
My bad. So yeah, first play, it's actually gonna be a quarterback sneak. Obviously, gonna be playing guard this year, but just kind of wanted to show off a little bit of the power. I mean, you can see like this was, I mean, a little bit short yardage here, so he does make a conceited effort to get his pads down, contrary to what I was saying in the opening. But you can see like this is how you pick up first downs on QB sneaks. Like I know Jalen Hurts got a lot of love, but to me, what made Philly so special is they had Jason Kelsey, who was driving dudes off the ball. And I mean, get a good example of that from JPJ here, and that's how Bo Nix is able to pick up that first down. So in a couple of years, maybe if JPJ moves to center, it's something that we come to expect. But again, just kind of want to show off a little bit of the power and get that going off first. Gonna move on to some double teams here and some combo blocks, which is where I think he was really nasty on film a lot of these times. Like this time he's going to be on the front side of an outside zone where him and the left guard are working up to this stack, this linebacker, and this, I guess, 2-eye technique. Again, I like how he gets pretty close to hip with the guard here so that this guy can't split the team. And then, again, we'll see this constantly throughout his film. Keeps those legs pumping, drives them. I mean, can't ask for much more than that. We're blocking this dude into about 5 yards down the field and a gap or two over. We'll take that.
Woo. Beast.
This one's going to be duo. Also, this right guard, side note, this right guard for Oregon, I forget his name. I think he came back this year. He's just he can block too. A few plays that he had some nice reps with JPJ, including this one right here. I mean, again, get some help, but watching that guy pass the other tackle or pass the guard, excuse me. And also look at his I guess not his inside, his right arm right here. He gets it perfectly under the armpit of this nose tackle. And then he has the strength and torque to get this guy up and see how his hands up. And now obviously that's not doing this defensive lineman any good at this point. And he stands him up, got the hips unlocked. And then from there it's rep over. Like dude's getting blocked out of the screen, which we're going to see quite a few times. Nuts, similar rep on this one. I mean, again, getting some help here, but when he takes it over, like he finishes the block and guys are out of their gap and into the next one. Like this is perfect. I did want to point out, this was the one I wanted to call out what I was talking about a little bit. Like you can see, like he's already kind of high, like we're step maybe 2 out of his gap. And then at the point of contact, I mean, he bends at the waist a little bit here, which is, again, this is where he will get into some trouble. And you can see his feet, like he's pretty close together, pretty narrow base. Not as big of a deal on the combo block, but again, when he did get beat, it seemed like those were the two things that kind of came back to haunt him a little bit.
Let me ask you, Matt. So, because one thing I noticed about him on film is that he's a fast snap, right? So, does that have something to do with it? Like maybe he's trying to get into. Because I saw that on film with pass protection. So I was just asking. See.
Honestly, I've never thought of it. It could be, like he's trying to snap it and get out quickly because he does have a good get off. So maybe that's part of it. And maybe playing guard could help him out with that a little bit where he doesn't have to worry about it. But that could be. I never thought about it like that, but it's a good point to bring up. So maybe a little bit worried about getting the ball back there and has something to play on to it. But Well, this one was my favorite. I think a little duo here. And what I like too is I feel like we'll see a couple instances where he uses this technique because this Washington State defensive tackle is playing like a true 2 technique where he's head up on the guard and it looks like he's 2-gapping here. He knows that this D tackle he doesn't have this D tackle's attention, so he can kind of catch him off guard. So he can get away with winding up a little bit, and then again launching this dude into the right tackle's knees. That's the only downfall of this is my guy over here might have just torn an ACL, but again, we'll take blocks like this. We'll take sending defensive linemen off their feet, flying.
Damn, did you ruin your
I know
right tackle's career making a crazy block.
Let me see. Okay, let's see if this guy did actually get hurt. So that was 60. Yeah, okay. No, this guy was fine. He was here later in the season. 65 survived. He's here on this next clip too.
He's used to playing with Johnson.
He's like, got to get your knees ready if you're at Thayer Munford. You got to protect your knees a little bit from your own guys sometimes here next season. Similar rep here, not quite as effective, but or not quite as much of a highlight, but still equally as effective. Getting this 2-eye or 2 technique into the outside, the next gap. Like you can just see, like on double teams, like he's nasty. He can block guys 1-on-1. So when you give him some help, even better. This one I like too because like you can see Utah do a little bit of late pre-snap movement. So I like how he comes off the ball and he like recognizes that and he sees that. Like I think he's snapping it right now. It's hard to see with the Knicks right in the camera angle, but I think he's snapping the ball right about now. And so Utah's moving. And what I like too is like instead of just coming like a bat out of hell and risking like whiffing, he takes a second to gather himself and make sure he realizes where that defensive lineman is going and stays a little bit more measured. And then too, once we get, 2 guys on this guy and we have the strength of 2 330+ pound dudes, it's game over. We're washing that guy 5 yards into the defensive backfield. Oh yeah, this was a nice one too. So again, we'll see him try and do that little that technique where he just kind of catches this defensive tackle off guard. What I like about this rep too is the way Oregon has identified this front. I think they're treating 25 here, who is, I believe, a natural linebacker or a natural DB, like a DB. So they're the right guard is working up to 8, and he's responsible for 52. The problem is 52 is either blitzing or just reads this play really quickly and crashes downhill, which makes this a tougher block. But if you look at JPJ's eyes, he's blocking and taking care of this defensive tackle to help out his guard, but his eyes the entire time are on this linebacker. And then on top of it, he has the athleticism to redirect and meet the guy in the hole, and then the strength and power to get him off. So that's excellent football intelligence, awareness to adjust on the fly, and then the athleticism to actually execute it with the power to kick this guy out of the gap and create that rushing lane for the running back. So again, just kind of this what play to me really encapsulates who he is as a player and why he's such a good prospect, because it's kind of putting it all together. Hell of a block, man. All right, which one we got here? Oh, yeah, nice little reach block here. Again, moving on to a little bit of his movement skills. That was another thing that really stood out is him at center had a really good get off where we were talking about before, where he's having to snap the ball. So I'd imagine this only gets better when he's just playing guard. And he's going to be able to reach this 2-eye technique pretty easily and gets to the outside. And then 2 has the strength, the upper body strength that we saw before to get that hand under the armpit and move this guy inside. And I mean, where do we start? What is this? That's the 35. That's the 26-yard line. So let's see. Where does he finish? About the 20. Getting about 6 yards of movement. Again, dude's nasty, man. Similar rep here. I know this is an RPO, so they technically throw it. But again, you can see the quickness. This is a 3. That guy, he does slant inside, so it's really more like a 2 technique. But again, gets all the way around. Like you can see some of the initial quickness that he has off the ball. And then there's the athleticism to be able to flip his hips and get around and get positioning on that. Really a really impressive complete player. I'm still trying to figure out how he slid to the second round. Similar rep we saw earlier where he kind of adjusts on the fly. Not a devastating block by any means on this time. I believe this is a little duo, maybe inside zone from Oregon. Mm-hmm. But Oregon State's going to twist their defensive line and run a little stunt. I mean, he just picks it up seamlessly. And then again, when we got 2 guys in the same gap, that's a win for the offense. Like this is a nice lane. I mean,
it's literally like Quentin Nelson tape, bro. This is what I felt like I was watching. I feel like I was watching Quentin Nelson.
That's a good comp. It's a lofty comp, but a good one. I mean, if this tight end gets the split block, so yeah, probably is split zone then. Or no,
it's just dominant like that. I guess. Yeah. I guess it's, you know what I mean.
Yeah, for real. It really is. It really is. But yeah, if we get a better block from this tight end, this guy Bucky Irving might be.
He scored
his head on the goal post here.
Yeah, that tight end got abused.
But yeah. This one, my note here was just nastiness and finish. Like the block itself isn't great. Like he's not exactly like kicking this guy out of the gap or anything like that. Although it does look like Oregon's trying to twist their defensive tackles here, Oregon State, excuse me, and he kind of stops it. But again, like this is what you're talking about with why Pierce would love him. It's just the pure finishing mentality and nastiness to like toss this guy on the ground and then on the ground give him something a little extra to remember for the rest of the game. He's physical, dude. He's a bully. The other part of his game that I really like is his ability to block in space and climb to the second level. And one thing that I think he does really well that I think a lot of guys coming out of college can struggle with is they think I'm getting to the second level and they just want to fly out and go up to get to the landmark.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas he's a lot more measured. Like you can see here, he kind of like initially he's going to check, right? We've seen a few clips where defenses against Oregon were slanting and twisting their defensive line.
Yeah.
He's going to check to make sure this 3 technique stays in the B gap. Once he knows, now we're getting up to the linebacker. And he's getting to the spot where he needs to be. But he's also in a position where if this guy were to try and cross his face, he can plant his outside foot in the ground and ride him inside or kind of like stay in front of him. And that's, I think, what makes him so dangerous when he's blocking the space. And then after that, like, I mean, now we're talking 330 on 230. Like that's a win every single time. And we block this dude out of the freaking screen.
Yeah.
Like, and that's kind of where I think he really comes in. Not sure if I'm stepping on your toes here, Marcus, but got a couple screens in here.
No, you're good.
And I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, he's getting to his spot. He's getting where he needs to be, right? He beats the DB to the hash mark.
Yeah.
And he's under control and just puts this dude in the ground. Again, like when you're a 180-pound DB, your only chance is to be faster and more athletic than this dude. But, and I'm going to back this up a little bit more. Like, we'll see how he kind of like starts to break down right about there just to stay under control and make sure that he can stay in front of that DB. And then boom, just uncork. Not even fair. Just a complete mismatch. All right, this will be our last clip here. And then if you follow me on Twitter, like I reposted this, Brandon Thorne actually broke this down with JPJ. And he said he actually kind of ad-libbed here. Like his primary job is just to influence this defensive tackle like up the field, but because they slanted, like it didn't matter. Like the defense kind of slanted into it to play into Oregon's trick play here on the reverse. And he actually just ad-libbed out here and just said, screw it, I'm gonna go find a block, which again I think speaks to his, mentality as a football player and just intelligence. And then again, when he's blocking in space, not only can he get out there, like you see the initial quickness to get to the spot to reach the guy, and then 2, gets out to the level, and again, game over, no chance. So, I mean, that's I struggle to see how this dude ended up sliding to the second round. Like his tape is pretty clean. Like you're comparing him to Quentin Nelson. I'm not going to argue about that too much or anything like that. Like he's a stud, man. Like he did a lot of stuff, a lot of clean tape this past year that was really impressive. I mean, dude can block in the trenches and go up to the second level. He had a clip, I didn't share it, obviously, that he actually goes up to the third level and blocks a safety. Like he can move. He's big and strong. Like I don't know. I feel like the Raiders really got a steal on this one. This was a heck of a second round pick for sure.
Yeah, I mean, getting him at 44. You know what I mean? It's not like they had to trade up or anything. I mean, he fell like 13 picks. Yeah. I mean, like that's kind of crazy when you think about it when you watch his film. And maybe it's the injuries. He did get injured the Senior Bowl too. Maybe it's some of the injuries, but I mean, I don't think he got injured that much this year. And I don't know if they're not like they're not like Michael Penix's injuries. I mean, Michael Penix went 8, man. He tore his ACL like how many times? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's wild. I don't know.
I think part of it too is he was only a 1-year starter at Oregon, so he doesn't have like the full body of work that like someone like Quentin Nelson. I think Quentin Nelson was like a 3-4 year starter at Notre Dame. So I think that might have been part of it of like, okay, yeah, this guy has really good clean tape, but he only has 1 year of it, and like he didn't play that much in his freshman and sophomore year. But I mean, still, I'll take that. I'll take what we just saw in the second round any day of the week.
Bro, it's crazy. It is a run blocker. He's gonna elevate the run game so much just from day one. Just you talk about how smart he is, man. I mean, that's what you'll notice in pass protection too. He's just a smart player too. It's not only like it's just all ability and technique. He's very intelligent, knows things, knows when to pick up things. So it's really fun to watch. So let's get into this pass protection. All right, so start a little pass protection here, of course. You kind of can see here it is a little bit of a high pad level a little bit on this one, but he still has good hands, great anchors. He's a very strong player. This guy, he never loses the hand fight. I mean, that's one thing you're gonna notice even when he has a little bit of a high pad level. So that's what I was talking about. Maybe some better players might be able to mess with him a little bit because he's just a little high here, right? And then, but you see his hands are inside and he won, right? So he is going to win this fight as an inside player because you're going to get mostly bull rushes. You're not going to get those crazy spins from Christian Wilkins all the time. You're going to get mostly bull rushes. So to have this kind of anchor and strength right there, you see it plant that base again. It's consistent. So, but I also talking about with the snaps thing. I think it might have a little bit to do with that. I'm interested to see how he does it guard here. So here's another one here. You see the pad level is a little high, but he wins that hand fight and he's just so strong, right?
And if you are going to play with good pad or high pad level, like that's where you can like make up for it is with your hands, using your hands to get leverage.
Yeah, because the snap is so quick that he gets off. He gets off a quick snap. And we were talking about Andre James. Watching him, that ball gets Bo Nix so fast, and these guys are set. You could already see like Bo Nix just got this football. This guy's already halfway to where he needs to be, right? Before this defense is even set up. And that's a lot to do with his snap. And then he's able to control this guy with one hand, basically. And you could see like number 90. I don't know if he's a NFL player. I don't know if he's going to be that type of player, but these type of things, he's able to get this anchor, but against better, like he's got to play Chris Jones twice a year. That's not gonna work. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, yeah. But he's very sound. So like this is a perfect example of a quick snap I was talking about here. I just noticed this morning too, because look how quick this snap is. Yeah. Like he's already up, right? Yeah. Like his whole team is not even off. The defense hasn't got off. Bo Nix already has the ball. Is running the play. That's crazy to me. That gives Bo Nix so much more time to kind of roam the field, and then he has somebody lose, and he's able to get this ball off. But then you watch JPJ here, and then he does a good job of getting low this time because I think 58 was the other 58 on the other team. That dude gets low. If he doesn't get low at him, he's gonna have a long day. So you see here, but then he's able to get those hands inside. Those hands are always in a perfect spot. Look at right. This is like I'm watching the Scouting Academy, like an example video right in the chest plate, Yeah.
And like he's able to stand that guy up too. Like I was talking about a little bit earlier, like he lands his hands perfectly and like he ends up getting some lift on them to take that pass rusher's momentum up instead of out or up instead of into him.
Yeah. And that was 77, not 58. The other guy, my guy, guys. There's 58 right
That's
there.
58.
But
the big Polynesian dude.
Yeah, exactly. That was a big Polynesian dude
yeah,
too. That's what Utah is full of. Yeah. Seriously. All right. So here's another one. So you see here, better pad level on this one, in my opinion. But like he's not. You're not going to get your hands on him first. That's one thing I noticed on both the games I was watching here. You're not going to get your hands on him first. And then his hands are always inside. He's just control you and just push you to the guard. I got help inside. I'm just gonna push you right to him. I'm not going to block you. I'm just gonna push you to this guy. 74, you take him, man. I don't need him. You know what I mean? Like it's just.
Yeah.
So here's another one here. Right, so get the snap off, and what I like, he never picks the wrong guy to help too. So it always seems like he knows where exactly how these guys are going to attack. So he's, this guy's attacking inside here, so he knows he to come in here, but he knows he has help from 74, and then he can 74 knows to kind of just pass him off. So he works really well with his offensive line too. Like I said, his hands are always in a perfect spot. Like I said, it is some high pad level there, but that can be cleaned up. If this is something they cleaned up, look at those hands, man. Look at this. You ain't going nowhere, bro. Where are you going? Oh man. All right. So here's another one here. Next one. Now we're going with 58 here. So now you can see that they're sliding here, right? Right. Kind of mixing it up with the play action. It's probably RPO or something like that, in my opinion. A little bit of a mix here, but you see how 58, he's sliding over here too, kind of doing like what is this called, Matt? The defensive line.
Slide pro.
Yeah.
What's it? What? Slant?
With the defense. Yeah. With the defensive line where they're moving like this.
Yeah. Slant right. Slant strong.
Okay.
Or weak.
Yeah.
Weak.
Yeah. So Well, you see how well he moves, right? So he has great feet. This is why he could play guard too. This is kind of showing how he could play guard because you can see how good his feet are when he moves, right? And he's able to knock this guy's hands down, right? This guy's trying to get some, get the hand plays. He knocks his base, just tosses him to the side. Like, what are you doing? That's stupid. And then, like, why would you even try that? Why would you even try to chop me? Come on, dog. What are you doing? So, all right. There's another one here. So, what I like about this one is how he kind of goes to help, right? Then he sees 57's kind of taking a different angle. He's able to readjust here, get a good base here. But like I said, the pile was still high, but you can still see he has a good base here to anchor, and his hands are still at the right spot. This guy does not win the hand fight, even coming from a position where you think he might lose it. Because you see here, right? Like, you see where his hands are. He's always ready to attack with his hands. I don't know who their offensive line coach, but he's a damn good guy. I don't know who that guy is, but he's good. Because all these guys, you can see all their hands. Look at them.
Yeah,
y'all got a pretty good damn team. Y'all are all ready to go. So he understands that. Boom, gets his hands inside, readjusts, pushes him right to 74.
Backed it up a little bit for a second.
Yeah.
So when that guy starts to work inside, like you can see the right guard even steps on his foot, and he does unfazed. Like, back it up a little bit more. Right, a little bit more. Right, yeah. Play it right there. Steps on him. He just keeps set.
Trip either. Didn't care.
Flawless.
He's a warrior. All right, there you go. There's another 1-on-1 here. I mean, this is he just ate up 90 all day. 90 had no chance here. Look, he wins the hand fight because, like I said, his pad level is a little high, so you can see how you can get it pushed back a little bit. There's a little bit of power here. This guy gets his hands inside here, right? So this is one of the times where he didn't get his hands up, but you can see him reset.
Yeah.
Right. Resets, counters, booms, gets his hands back inside, and he's so strong that you don't get that push still with it. So it just comes to, and this one I was laughing because it's like RPO, but he just pushes this guy like 10 yards down the field. Like, it's just,
I'm excited to see what, like, that rep reminded me of. I'm excited to see what his get off can look like when he's not having to snap the ball. Because I mean, even when snapping the ball, he flies.
like he's like moving while he's snapping, bro.
Yeah.
He's not even done with the snap motion. He's already into the block. But that's what I'm saying. Like, so what does his get off at guard like? You know what I mean? Like, it's it could be such a special player, dog. So here he is picking up stunts here.
Oh yeah,
it's a good job passing off 57, and he's already ready there for 58. Sees it real quick, right? Gets the help in, helps out his guard right there, and his guard set up to help out 58. So I mean, this is him just setting up the whole line.
Yeah.
All right. He knows what. Okay, I got pass off 57. I know where the stunt's coming from. 58 can't do anything. It just sets it up perfectly, man. He just stops everything here because he knows what's happening. He reads it because you can even see when he snaps the ball, he doesn't look directly. He kind of like eyes it. He kind of eyes this guy real quick, trying to see how he's moving. It's very subtle. So, I mean, the Raiders' main problem is stunts. So watching this dude pick up stunts, even at guard, because he's going to be able to help Andre James a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
So you see on this one, another one, he picks up the stunt here. Kind of just, he's just ready for this one. You know what I mean? And then you can see it like when he snaps the ball, right? He's already ready for everything. He knows where these stunts are coming from, passes it right off. And then his guard gets a pancake here out of it. Sees where the stunt's coming from. And get a snatch and trap there. Oregon offensive line, man. I'm telling you, man. These are
dirty, man.
All of them. studs. Like, I don't know, man. All right. See, here's another one here. Him just
nice little slingshot technique.
Yeah, the slingshot. And that's what I'm saying. He's not even looking at this guy, right? He's not even looking at him. He's watching 57, and then he just tosses like a no-look tosses him. Like, oh, I didn't see you.
It's like if the internet joke, if Patrick Mahomes did this.
Yeah. Like, honestly, you thought I didn't see you. Get tossed, bro. All right, so yeah. Yeah. That's Jackson Powers Johnson, guys. That is some damn good film. To me, it's clean. Like to me, it's like, how bad can he really be? That's you're trying to figure out. That's why I said that maybe the high pad level, maybe in pass protection, you got some things to work on. Maybe, right? He's got to deal with the elite guys. The average defensive tackle, maybe even a good defensive tackle, maybe some guy that he's a pretty good player. He's gonna do pretty well at that. I worry about the Chris Jones type of player. He's going to play Chris Jones 2 times a year. Nobody really else in the Broncos or anything like that. I don't know their schedule, but just dealing with that type of guy, like Chris Jones, might baptize him a little bit. I don't know if they play the Steelers. Cam Hayward, those type of players, those type of guys that
I can see maybe it's Zach Allen giving them some trouble a little bit. Broncos maybe, but yeah, I mean, I feel like the biggest thing is just how quickly can he make the transition to the NFL, which is I think where you get the little bit of the lack of an experience, like knock on him, a little bit of like you would have liked to see maybe another full year of him putting together clean tape to feel a little bit more confident. But again, if that's what caused him to slide into the second round and the Raiders get the benefit, I'll take it every day of the week. I like I said, I'm really excited to see what he can do, especially at guard with how damn quick he was just at center. So yeah, I'm still struggling to figure out how this guy slid, but a lot of clean tape, a lot of stuff that you like can't even really nitpick. So good player.
Yeah, it was pretty clean, man. All right, so now we're moving on. We're going to Delmar Glaze. That's the next guy here. I mean, it's probably a little different than this one, but it's fine. I mean, that's what we're getting this other rounds, and that's what we're looking at. I mean, some of these guys are not going to be perfect when they come out, especially when you come to the later rounds, after round 2, especially. So, but hope you guys enjoyed that episode. It definitely probably get Raiders fans excited for the run game and what the offense can really be, especially with these first 2 picks. I think they're both home run picks, right? Definitely, especially getting JPJ after Brock Bowers when you run a run 12 personnel, because that dude, they're gonna be able to run the ball. That's what I felt after watching. It was like, they're gonna be able to run the football.
Yeah,
they're gonna be able to run the ball.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right, bro. Hit the subscribe button. Subscribe. We're out of here, guys. Peace.